This should be going live on YouTube right away. This should be a fun interview to do because today we're going to be interviewing Carissa, a girl who I have interviewed in the past. This is definitely going to be fun for the people because this is going to be highlighting a fight that actually happened last night. So we're going to speak further upon it, and I also have another video that's going to be dropping on the channel of a reaction to it. So, how are you doing today?
What's up, bro?
Nothing much. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm just trying to see why my background's all blurry too. I'm gonna clear that out.
So the way to fix that is if you go to the more section, you can slide to the where is it? The settings part. It's in the first slide, and you can change the background or do whatever you want with it, basically,
All right,
I believe.
nice. Or
All right, perfect. So I think this should be live on YouTube right now. I tried to do it where it would go directly live onto YouTube, and I wanted to ask you a few questions about the fight and also like what led you into it. Was there any prize for the fight?
yeah, of course, yeah. We got paid win or lose for the fight. Some people,
Oh, wow.
everybody's payment was different. If you won, you got a different payment. If you got a knockout, you got a different payment. But we were definitely compensated very well for the fight. Tell you that.
Let me just make sure this is properly recording.
Yeah, it's being recorded.
All right. All right. So the fight was a Gilly and Wallow event. It was definitely something that I thought was cool for them to do because I see a lot of people always saying that they're going to try to host one of these events and it really never actually goes through. So I thought it was a cool thing to see them actually take the opportunity to make it happen. And
Yeah.
how did you even come to how did you get your name in there?
I signed up. I signed up to do it. Gilly got on live one day on Instagram Live, and he uh he was like saying, trying to match people up. He was pulling his fighters from last year in there, and Femi got up there, and she looked. I didn't know she. I didn't even look at her fight last year. Like I didn't even know who she was, or anything. I just got in there, started popping my shit, you know, and told him he was asking me questions. I told him I never fought professionally because it was, an amateur type thing. Um and she smoked weed, I smoked weed. I thought it was gonna be a good matchup until, you know, we did like weigh-ins and I actually met her in person and realized how much taller she was. And I seen that she weighed more than me, but I didn't think it was like 20 more pounds more than me after like it was already locked in and shit. But I'll never back down. I'll never back out. I was really excited about it. I actually really I didn't train, and I didn't think I had to. But I kind of wish I did because after watching the fight and everything, I could have definitely worked on some shit. And I didn't go to the gym. I didn't have a couple people asked me to train me and everything. But I don't think I just didn't take it that serious. And anyway, we only had like 3 weeks, 3 weeks to a month when I found out. Um so yeah, like yeah, I'm really happy about it and happy that I did it though. It was we were compensated very well, win or lose. And if you got a knockout, you got more, and if you won, you got more and everything. But it was definitely awesome. It was cool.
How do you think that they matched it up? Like, do you think that it was something that like when you said you kind of were talking to her, like kind of did you call her out or
Yeah,
how did they
yes, I
match that
called
up?
I called her out on the live. Yeah, he was like, "Well,
Okay.
we got my fighter here." There was actually two girls in the live. One of them was Big T's, was another girl that fought Cash Kai. Um, she actually lost too, but um, Kai one, but Big T's is the one that was in my live with me. So I was gonna fight either her or the person that won last year, which was my opponent Femi, and I told Gilly I'll fight either one.
Yeah, because I thought it was an interesting matchup. I wasn't really expecting like I didn't when I going into it, I was really not expecting it to be something that would be an easy task. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that you kind of have to have a real game plan if you're going up against someone who's bigger. It's a hard task to do, but it's definitely something that is possible, as you know. It's definitely possible. It's something that I was very inspired by your confidence going into it. You know what I mean? It's definitely something that is one of the biggest factors, and it's very hard to have that going into it. So it's one of those things you definitely can be proud of going out of it.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But what?
I've only ever um like fought street. Fought I've never fought in a gym. I never actually sparred like in a gym like with a fighter or the only training I did this whole time was I did some running a little bit and I was having a hard time with that because like I had asthma a lot when I was younger, but like it's not as bad now. So like I didn't think it would affect me as much as it did in the ring. Boxing is so much different than street fighting. It's it's very different all around. So
Think that you overwhelmed yourself a bit by like having in the first round I was able to see that you were sort of moving a lot, you know what I mean? You were moving in ways that I think was draining you a lot. So it was something that I
yeah,
was what was the game plan there?
there I was just trying to figure out my movement and I was trying to figure out how what she was gonna do. So she really had honestly no movement on her feet. I was definitely like taking her around the ring. She was following me.
Yeah.
She was definitely following me. Um, which I felt I had control of totally, which was good. I was just very winded and like my dog said, my coach, my trainer, Rara, he told me, he was like, Riss, if you had a third lung, you would have won that shit. So
If you had if you were in like if you were really trying to like keep up with the cardio in that situation, if you were ready for the cardio that you were going to put into it, you definitely had a great opportunity because you were frustrating her a lot in the first moments, and it's definitely something that you can use as like a motivation to keep going. Because I could imagine if you were to find the shots to set up, if you were able to kill the void, which that's one thing I don't think a lot of people really go into a fight really thinking is how am I going to set these shots up? How am I actually going to create the opportunities to set the shots up and also break that distance, because that's a huge piece of the puzzle that a lot of people really kind of overlook, is how hard it is to actually get to the person when you need to, you know what I mean? And how to
thank
like
you.
just stick and you know what I mean? That's like
Yeah,
a lot of people when it comes to fighting, they think that it's like, oh, I have this power, I'm just gonna be able to knock someone out. I have this, I have that, and it's very hard to put it into action when you're actually in there because it's very overwhelming. It's very much going to be something that's just gonna blind you of what you really are supposed to do. So it's just very much in it's a good example of how it is watching that fight when I was able to see that you were using your movement well, but you also were going in a way where
sorry.
you kind of were like getting over yourself in a way. You were kind of like you were kind of doing a little bit too much of the movement, I believe, because
Yes,
against did you watch the Jake Paul fight last night?
yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So if you
Afterwards,
see
after my
him,
fight.
yes. So if you watch that fight, there's moments in that fight where he's almost stepping on himself. He's literally putting himself back into the ropes, and he's eventually just overwhelmed with how much energy he's just wasted. You know what I mean? So it's
Exactly,
like a
yes. But one thing I
yes,
can say is she never got me on the ropes. She never cornered me. She never got me down. You know what I mean? And she didn't TKO. And the ref stopped it. You know what I mean? But I honestly I didn't want to give up, bro. Breathe couldn't breathe or not. I didn't want to give up. But the ref saw me and he knew I think he could kind of he probably thought I was like having an asthma attack, you know what I mean? But I wasn't. I just couldn't catch my breath, you know? And
yeah. Well, it was a great demonstration of heart because in that fight you had what it takes to do it when it comes to heart, when it comes to the belief in yourself and the actual confidence it takes to even step in there and try to take someone out.
appreciate
But
that, my boy.
it's definitely yeah, it's a tricky thing because did you ever have any experiences in different sports early on where you were
Just
just very
basketball.
gassed?
Basketball, and I
Basketball?
and I played softball, yeah, but my sport was basketball, and now that's running, you know?
Yes,
Um
it is. It's very different. Very
exactly.
different. That's what a lot of people kind of fail to see is they're like, oh, I could be good at soccer,
Yeah, and
cardio,
a
I could
lot
be
of
good at
people were like talking a lot of smack, and they were like, it was only 1 minute rounds and blah 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 blah. Bro, I've never fought a day in my life. 1 minute rounds, you know what I mean? Like they just think like they make it sound so sweet. Oh, I would have did this and I would have did that. Like you never stepped a day in the ring. Like you never stepped
yeah,
a day in the ring to even say, oh, I would have did this or I would have done that. Like you know what I mean? Just like that's why I appreciated what you shared because after the fight because you know and like you said, not a lot of people would have went out there. I'm the only white girl that has ever been on $1 million worth of game knockout party. You know, like so it was really a privilege and for me, and I love the culture. I love my city. Um Shout out to Gilly and Wallow for what they did for me, and especially Gilly. It's my dog. Like he was cheering me on the whole time. He was bidding on me about. But yo, man, it was a great night, man. It was a fucking great night.
looking back on it though, would there be anything that you would do differently in the preparation?
Prepping, yes. Training, man. Like you can't get too cocky with shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, man, like, I just wish I would have taken it more seriously. Like, I never went into the gym.
Yeah,
I smoked mad pack. I smoked mad weed. Um, you know what I mean? Like, I just had a baby 2 years ago. I haven't been back to work yet. I will be soon. And, you know, I just started content creating and everything. So the only thing I would do different is definitely took it more seriously and trained. I mean, I took it serious. Don't I don't want to say that I didn't take it serious. I took it serious. I just didn't train as hard as I should have. And
yeah.
I don't really like know too much about, a couple people asked to train me. I just, didn't take the offer, which maybe I should have, maybe I felt like I wanted to pick like the right one, but um
Yeah.
I should have I should have trained harder, bro. And if I could have breathed, I would have went the third round. And I would have because I was getting some shots in and one of my shots is what really turned her up like because she felt that shit. And that's when she was like and when I threw that shot, that was when I threw that right hook, that was in the second round when I was already winded. Like I wasn't even at my full when I threw that hook. Um,
Well, the thing that I've noticed, I did the reaction to it, and I noticed after you hit her with that is when she actually hit you with this combo. She went to the body
yes,
and then to the face.
and then to the face she
Yeah,
did, yeah. And I ate
it
that
was.
shit. I ate that shit.
I was saying I think the most impactful shot was the right hand that you threw, but it
Mm,
was definitely something that was it was like too late for it to matter in a way. You know what I mean? It
yes.
was like it was a difficult thing to see because after when she throws that combo on you, I was actually thinking I'm like that was a very great setup, but I
Yeah.
don't think I really seen any setups throughout the fight before that or after that. Like, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
something that I you were swinging for the fences, and I think that that was sort of like a
She was so
thing that's
tall.
it's gonna
She was very much taller than
yeah.
me, and I felt the reason why I was like swinging the way I was swinging because it was hard for me to get to her. You feel me? Like I was
You
shorter
know
and I
how to
was,
get to a taller person?
huh?
The way to do it, the way to do it, if you're trying to go out at someone who's taller, is you need to work the body. You need to work that body because if
And
that
I
that's like
didn't.
what's going
I
to be
didn't,
ultimately.
and I should have
Yeah,
as well. That's one thing I should have threw a lot more body shots. Then I was so focused on her face. So and
yeah.
I could
It
be
goes a
honest
long way,
about that. Like I said,
especially
maybe if I
against.
had a trainer training me to do that, I was down in
Yeah,
the hood sparring on my boys, like, like on
yeah.
some
I mean,
savage
that's
shit. Like I wasn't even going to the gym. I was literally just, sparring with my boys, all men. I was sparring with all men, um, for a little
were
bit and
you able
shit.
to were you able to like kind of get any experience before though from them? Were they able to tell you any kind of game plan that they wanted you to do?
Who like my boys, my coach Ram and my stepdad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went in with a game plan. Yes, we did. And
What was the game?
the body, because she was taller than me.
Really? Yes.
And
Yes. That's the
and
thing.
my boys were saying, Briss, get her in the body, get the body shots, get the body shots. They were telling me that, you know what I mean? And but when you're in the ring and shit's happening, it's kind of hard to because at first I told you I wanted to get in there and see what she was working with in the first round. I wanted to see how she was moving. I wanted to see how she was throwing. I wanted to see my movement and all that, And then the second round, I started getting my groove in and knowing, what she was doing. But by that time, I was so winded. So,
Well, for that card, do you think that you would ever do it again? Like
oh,
that exact one?
oh yeah. What with her?
Well, I think that I don't think she's the right opponent for someone like you. I
No, me
would
neither. Me
say like
neither.
someone. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that that was even a matchup because it didn't really make a lot of sense in my mind.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
know, but
when it comes.
honestly, bro, why do I, I loved it to me. It was competition. Like, I knew she was going to be competition, bro. You know what I mean? She won last year. She has some experience. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was good for me. I liked it. I loved it. Because, she was bigger than me. All bet odds were against me in that fight. Height, weight, everything. Like, everything. And, I think I stood 10 toes the whole time, and I'm just kind of sick that I couldn't breathe. But what am I
Yeah.
gonna do? Proud of myself
Well, I
though.
definitely. Yes, I think that's like one of the things I'm very happy is to see that you're not like just super down on yourself because that is like a
No.
huge thing to like just kill off any chance of ever trying again. Is a lot of people will just be like, I don't know, they'll find any reason to like be down on themselves in this moment, and
I'd be like, it
it's
was rigged.
very
It was rigged. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly, you know what I mean? Yeah,
it was
a lot of
scary.
people would be like, it was a lot of people would be like, I was set up to lose, like I was they gave me this person who's much bigger because they
Nah,
wanted this person to
no.
win, if you know what I'm saying. It's
It
like
was not like that. I know what
like
I was going up against. I knew it was gonna be a little challenge for me, and I loved that. And it taught me some shit, and it showed me what I can work on. And I know I could do this again, and that I could really make a good fighter of myself. If I slowed down, quit the vapes, like actual nicotine vapes. Slowed down on the smoking a bit. Now that my daughter's getting older, and I'm gonna be able to go back to work soon. Start becoming a content creator, and maybe follow up with this fight and stuff. I would so go back. If Gilly wants me to go back, I'll go back next year on a fair opponent. And I'll train. I'll start training now. I'm like me. I was already talking about getting a gym membership and not even doing it for nothing else and doing it for myself. Even like working on my stomach. Like I said, I just had a baby 2 years ago, and really haven't been doing much with being a single mother, and right now. So yeah,
One thing I could definitely recommend is like training in the pool. It's a great way to build cardio without getting that exhaustion. You know what I mean? It's one of
yeah,
those things that it helps you also have a little bit of fun while you're doing it. And I think that's one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle for a lot of people is find a way to have fun while you're doing it. A lot of
exactly.
people they exhaust themselves and they end up looking at it as this task of labor that they don't want to keep doing. And it's just so hard to get around that once you're in it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like once you find a way to be comfortable enough to have fun and just laugh while you're doing it,
yeah.
that's the way to actually
And I
get
was
that
laughing.
real.
I was laughing. You see me smirking?
You you were talking in the second round. What were you
Yeah,
saying?
I was talking my shit. I was like, all right, let's get it. Let's get it. And she was talking her shit too at times when I wasn't blocking myself and stuff. Shout out to my opponent, man, because there was times that I wasn't, throwing my hands up to defend myself as much. And she kept saying, she said, put your hands up, Riss. Put your hands up, Riss. Like she was telling
Really?
me. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? She was, yeah, shout out to Femi, dog. Man, we put on a good show. Me and my opponent, we definitely did for a good entertainment. You know, everybody could work on, be better and everything. But she got that, man. She trained for that. Okay, she trained for that. She had some experience from last year with Gio, and that fight wasn't really too much. And from her fight last year and then two against me, she looks better. You know, and always she didn't have no
Did
combos last year or nothing.
did she win last year?
Yes, this is her second win.
So one thing I noticed, you said you didn't have your hand, you weren't bringing your hands back up to your
Right,
face.
right.
One huge way of like you were throwing these looping shots. You were kind of throwing shots that were over your head because
Yeah,
you were aiming at her
her
head,
head. Yeah,
and I noticed that your hands would end up below her waist. And think about it like this: like if someone throws like if they keep throwing like that, and their arm keeps going down,
yeah.
that's a you are pretty lucky she wasn't able to find a couple shots in those
That
moments.
she
You know what
could
I mean?
catch
Because
me
it's
in
a
there.
very
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Well, that's where I was trying
Yes,
to
it's a
tell you
very
with my
vulnerable moment.
footwork movement too. Like I was also, moving a
The
lot
moving
quicker than her.
target's hard to hit.
Yeah,
Yeah, the moving target is very hard to hit, and that's like
and
what
that's
was
what I was doing.
demonstrated in the Jake Paul.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Jake Paul fight was very interesting to see because a lot of people would call him they want to say all these different things, bashful things, because he was always moving and he wasn't really giving Anthony Joshua a sitting target to hit.
But isn't
But
that what
that's
you're
the name of the
supposed
game.
to
It's like
do?
exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do that, and that's like the funny thing that I look at when I see all these different people throwing shade at Jake Paul. It's almost like people are just built to hate him. People just want to look at anything he's doing as like the worst way of doing it. But it's also just like a very valuable thing if you were able to see it for what it is. And
Right.
that's like the only way to take down a target that's much bigger than you, much more skilled than you,
Right.
is if you're sticking and moving. That old
Right.
saying, Muhammad Ali, is float like a butterfly, sting
Thing
like a
like a
bee. You know
bee.
what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's something you don't necessarily see super often. There's a lot of people who kind of are in the game to kind of like prove themselves to be this bad motherfucker who can take all this punishment and all this shit. And that's not going to get you the win all the time. That's going to put you out on your
No.
shield before
Exactly.
you even get a chance to do it. You know what I mean? So it was a very it was cool to see that you were trying to do that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
something that is going to be a very valuable thing. If you can master that, if you can get it down to a skill where you're actually using the right movements and no wasted movement at all, then you're going to have a great advantage on most people. So it's definitely something to never throw away. It's one of those things you just have to kind of
Work on.
like keep studying.
Hmm.
Yes, keep watching the thing. Watch it with no audio and just watch what you're doing. Just
Right.
keep watching what you're doing and being like, okay, there's a movement right here that I was just completely out of bounds. I completely put myself like off balance. I'm completely in a position of vulnerability. And once you
Exactly.
see those moments, yeah, when you see those moments, that's how you fix it. So it's like this is a great opportunity for a lesson to be had, and a lot of people would look at it as a loss. They look at it as whatever, but it's just a lesson. So
Yeah, it was just a
that's
lesson
like
for me,
the
man. Yeah, of course it was a loss. You know, everybody takes losses too, but like I said, like
yeah.
man, like all odds were against me, and you know, it would have been crazy if I would have won. You know, I just wish I would have trained, and you know, I got to work on my breathing, and you know, that was the hardest thing for me was my breathing, and you know, and the hardest thing for me was her like her being so tall and me not going for more body shots um and just like aiming for the face because like I said I've only been in street fights and that's all I know is to take them down like that, you know what I mean, like so boxing is
Can
just
I ask you this? In between rounds, in between the first round, what were you thinking?
nothing. I was thinking, I was like, fuck. I just was thinking in my head, like, fuck, like I'm so winded. I just kept thinking to myself, like, I was really just trying to do some breathing techniques. Like, that's all I was thinking in between. I wasn't in any pain. She didn't leave any marks on me or anything. Um, I wasn't in any pain or anything. I wasn't scared, like, in between rounds. My adrenaline was going so much. I didn't throw up either. Like she's in the corner throwing up. No, I gagged. I was like, what? Like that. Like I had a real big gag when I sat down. And because of my adrenaline, that's happened to me before in a fight too. After I fall, I threw up. I don't know. It's just
Really?
but I didn't throw up. I gagged, and then after I gagged, they didn't know if I was gonna go back out there because they thought I was throwing up and shit. When really I was trying to catch my breath, and so I finally caught my breath back as much as I could, and they were like, "You ready? You know, you want to go back out?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know." And I went back out, and that's when I threw that right hook and when it stunned her and then she threw the combo at me and then when she started hitting me with them combos and shit it tired me out a bit too, you know, I was already winded as it was, so
Do you leading into it, was there any like were you trying to like prep yourself on any diet or anything? Because like going
fruit
into a fight
salad
day,
protein.
yeah, because like going into it, like you are almost better off on an empty stomach, like complete being hungry,
Yeah,
because you have that like, killer nature when you're hungry. It's like that old savage nature we would have before we had houses and all this stuff. We would
right,
be hungry enough to want to go hunt. You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
So it's like it's one thing when I seen you throwing up, I was wondering, I'm like, did she drink too much water or like, you know what I
Gatorade,
mean? Or like
Gatorade,
gagging.
Gatorade.
Gatorade. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
had
could be it.
Gatorade.
Yeah,
I
that could
drank
be it.
like a good amount before I hit the stage on the fight before when
Yeah,
the men were
that
fighting.
makes sense because yeah, that makes sense because it's like in those moments we almost get a little bit in our own heads where we just try to kind of silence it with any way we can, and it's like very much like then you don't want to go into it out of your element. You have to like kind of deal with those emotions in like the most like crazy way you can, and that's just by just going through it in a way. You know what I mean? Like it's
That
like it's tough, but it's the reality of a fight is you really have to be just in this primal state of mind where you're ready to kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And any comfortability in that moment is going to take you away from it. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was something that I seen. I was just like very curious on if do you think that you were just super overwhelmed, or do you think
Yes.
that it was
My
just something?
adrenaline, it was all, I was super overwhelmed. My adrenaline, it was all of it, bro. I'm in front, 140 people, million, or 140 million people were watching that last night. Um, that was our views. And, the lights, like everyone's screaming. I can hear my coach. I hear my stepdad, my dad, which I call my dad. Um, I hear my friends, like, you know, and for a second, like, I was locked in. Like, I really was locked in. Like, I was locked in. I just couldn't breathe, man.
Yeah, because even on like the entrance, your walkout, you seemed like you were kind of getting rid of the energy that you were gonna need. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Mhm.
I think that that was like it was something that the crowd loved, but it was also something that I was very interested. I'm like, is she kind of hyping herself up in this moment, and is this going to like kind of lead to
When I did
something
my
bad?
performance,
Yeah,
you're talking
like
about when I first
you
came
came
out.
out kind of dancing. Yeah, you're dancing and stuff, and like I was just like, damn it! Like even I seen you in the back. I seen videos of you in the back, and you were
Jumping
like
around.
dancing around and
Yeah.
kind of like yeah, and I was just like, this isn't necessarily what you really want to do going into a fight because
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
unless
They
like
love
there's
me
some
though.
like
They love my
they
personality and
did
all that. I put on a
they
show, man.
did
I was in
yeah
my bag when I came out, man. With my boys, this song was playing, like, and he coming up from the trenches at Skrilla's dog, like that's rah rah, that's my dog, like, and like yeah, it was just lit. I was so lit and happy, and you know, I was just really hyped up. I was really hyped up.
going
I was in my
into
bag.
if you were to go into a next opportunity, if you ever had like another fight coming up, do you think you would not do that?
I mean, not do so much, maybe jumping around. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
jumping around. I was really in my bag. I don't regret anything that I did. I
yes.
just maybe I could have been a little bit more focused coming out. You know.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
it's
just ready.
definitely it's a perfect opportunity to learn. You know what I mean? I think
All
that
of
this
it.
is
Yeah.
like is you didn't get any like real punishment. You're not like in like any like you don't have any
I'm not
injuries that I
embarrassed. Like, I'm not
yeah.
embarrassed either. I don't have
Well,
injuries. I didn't go to sleep. Like,
yeah.
she didn't put me to bed. I didn't
Yeah.
fall. I didn't get stuck in the corner. Even when she was started pounding on me and I was going closer to the ropes, I got out of there.
Yeah. Well, that is it's definitely it was cool to see because like she could have hurt you. You know what I mean? She had
Yeah,
that opportunity,
yeah,
and I think that she was probably upset with herself after because she wasn't able to get that opportunity. Because I
yes,
mean, anyone who goes into a fight, even if you guys like each other, you sort of want to find those shots where you're able to put the training to use. And it does seem as if she had some proper training going into it to be
yeah,
able to find
yeah,
that combination she did at the end of the fight where she hits you very very gently to the body, but the way she hits you to the body drops your hands enough for her to be able to find that right hook, or the I think it was maybe a I think it was a right hook she hit you with, but she did it because she was in a southpaw stance. Am I wrong?
when,
She was at the end of the fight, did when she hit you with that hook, I think she was in a southpaw stance because I think she threw her right hand to your body just like very delicately. It was very softly, but I noticed it dropped your hands down just
it
enough for her
did
to be able
because I
to.
felt it. Yeah, just for her to get that shot up here. Yeah, of
It's
course.
it's human nature. If someone touches you to the body, you want to protect it. You want to drop that down, and it's like
Yup.
it's very hard to deal with unless you have the proper like stance, which is
Right.
like very interesting. It's like it was I'm very surprised she wasn't able to find more shots because she actually seemed to have like a proper stance. She seemed to be pretty pretty well trained in a way that I thought would help her, but also like I didn't necessarily see her able to piece those shots together until the very end. That last combination, I was like, I can see that she definitely has a lot of potential. She could be very good if she was able to make that combination happen a lot more and stay a little bit more patient because I think that you being overwhelmed overwhelmed her in the beginning
I
and it made
know.
her yeah, it made you guys both sort of trying to like just rush a little bit too much, which is going to make it very much almost impossible to get any game plan done. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So it was something that I
Facts.
was like, this could be a very useful tool if you were able to overwhelm the people because you have that confidence to be able to take a punch, to be able to put yourself in danger of being hit. So it's like if you just find those openings, you could really do some damage. So I definitely see that you have potential of doing some better work in another fight, but it's definitely it's going to take training and it's something that you really can't overlook. And I think that this was like one of the best examples I've ever seen of someone having the abilities, having the confidence, and having the guts to do it, but just not fully being able to get the job done through just all of the mental warfare that comes with it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of
Yes.
people just very much can be their own worst enemy in those moments sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yes, man.
So
Yeah.
it was very interesting to see, to say the least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was entertaining. It was a good fight. We both gave it our all, and you know, she took that one, and I'm not no sore loser or anything like at all.
Yeah.
I don't regret anything. I don't wish I could have done anything different. Um, except gave somebody shots, and
Yes.
and if I could have breathed better, I think
The breathing So there is like certain breathing techniques, like certain ways of breathing in those moments that are going to help you actually control all of the exhaustion. Like that's why you sort of see some of these people they're making these weird noises when they're hitting the bag or
yeah,
kicking the bag. It's sounds weird. It looks weird if you are not like really aware of what they're doing, but they're controlling their breathing and it's like very complicated to do at the beginning, but it's very useful once you actually learn it because
yeah,
it allows you to sort of relieve yourself of the tension, relieve yourself of the stress that comes with it. You know what I mean?
right,
So
right,
it's very much just something that comes with experience in a way. So it's
yeah,
like
for sure.
it's really no expectation for most people, and that's like what I seen through a lot of the fights in that card was I seen that there was some people who had great potential, but they weren't necessarily able to show it in the way that I would want them to in a way. You know what I mean? Because it's like even that one great knockout that I seen, I think it was like towards the end of the card where the
Yeah,
guy he like literally puts the guy on his face.
on
Like
his
that was
face. Yes, pressure.
yeah,
That was his name. Yeah,
he like laid the dude yeah, the guy ended up laying front out. Like that's why I was like that's like a very it's a very possible thing in all fights. Like a lot of people don't really understand the danger of what comes with it, and
yes,
that's
yes,
why anyone that steps in there deserves all the respect in the world. You know what I mean?
yes, man, yes. And it was right around Christmas time, man. Able to get my daughter some gifts. You feel me?
Yeah,
You know,
hell yeah,
that's why I said shout out to Gilliam Wallow because they definitely compensated us well, and I mean like I thought it was pretty well. I really did.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that has to be done. It's they have to they have to take people's health into consideration and have to
They had
reward
doctors
them in the way that
there.
I think.
They had doctors there. We had to do physicals. We had to get checked
Well,
out. Everything was legit, man. Um, everything was definitely
do you know if
legit.
they did any testing for steroids?
If they did any what?
Testing for steroids?
No, I don't. I don't know.
They didn't do any blood tests or anything?
No, no.
Well, that's interesting. I would assume safely that most people that were on the
Maybe the
card were
men.
not
Maybe
trying
they
to.
did it for the men.
Yeah, because like that's like one thing that you see for a lot of different contests
We
is they
because the women had
they
to get a
they
pregnancy test. We had to get a pregnancy test and do all that. Make sure that we
well
didn't
that's
have
definitely
in order to fight
yeah
in order to fight in the Gilliam Wallow fight, you can't have HIV, you can't have hepatitis C, you can't have like AIDS, any type of diseases also to go into the fight. You can't have HIV,
yeah
AIDS, hepatitis A, B, C, any of that, by the way. So if anyone was like, so yeah, like there's some
yeah
restrictions.
worst case scenario people start bleeding, blood gets on gloves,
Facts,
shit could it could go bad, you know what I mean?
facts, yeah.
That's like definitely a huge piece of it. That's why I was very interested to ask you. I'm like, did they do any blood tests? Did they do any like tests to see if people are juicing or any of the other things? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I think this is only their third, fourth year doing this and everything. So, they could still be, every year is different as well than the year before because I was talking to my opponent. She was there the year before, and she said like things like it changed certain things from like the year before. So yeah, they definitely try. They made it. They wanted to make it entertaining and I want to say as fair as like we agreed to it. If we agreed to it, why are they gonna say no? Especially if it's
Yeah.
like an opponent like mine where everyone's like that wasn't fair, that wasn't a fair matchup, blah blah blah. And but I called her out. I popped my shit, you know what I mean?
I've definitely been really interested to see if they will do one for the cannabis field because I think it'd be very interesting to see a lot of these people that do reviews, people that do content and all this stuff, to see them jump into a ring. I highly doubt most
Bro,
people
that's
would.
such a great idea, man.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people would take that. A lot of people would not take the opportunity to try it because it's well, I mean it's really putting your
And
reputation
loser ggets canceled. Can't
on.
review ever again.
No, I think they should just do it with like I
I'm
think
just
like
kidding.
it'd be cool to see someone like a Beezy, someone that has a platform like him, if he was to throw some type of tournament like that and have people that are doing reviews, people that are just
Content
well,
creating,
all types of
promoting.
people, even people that are just like even like people who don't even have like any like platform to see any people join into that would be very interesting because there is like obviously some factors that might hold you back if you are a weed smoker, but it also gets the opportunity to the weed smokers who really have that cardio, really have that conditioning to like do some damage because there will be like a lot of people who can kind of show like what it's really about. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
it's a very hard task to accomplish, and there's a lot of people that get looked at as sort of being less than because they participate in weed style like events and all this shit. People kind of get looked at as like being someone who could be stepped on, and it's not always the case. You know what I mean? People
Yeah.
have that fight in them, and it's like not gonna just be canceled out because you smoke weed. It's like imagine if people were like, "Oh, just because you drank alcohol, you're not able to fight anymore," or
But
something. Like
yeah, yeah.
there's some dangerous guys who can do all these dumb things that aren't necessarily what you should be doing to your body, but they're able to do it in a way that's actually like sort of health conscious. I wouldn't say drinking. I'm going to take that back. I don't think drinking's necessary. Even though I drink, I'm not going to
But
say
we're
that's
talking about weed, so you know.
yeah. But I kind of used
Yeah,
it as an example, and I was like,
yeah.
I
You're
don't
trying to
know.
use like yeah,
You know what I mean? But it's just like it would be a very fun one to do. I would hope like hell that one of these guys actually takes it serious and follows it through because I've heard it so many times throughout the past couple of years of people wanting to schedule some sort of cannabis fight league or something and it doesn't fully go through the way that they say that they want to do it. And I can see a lot of reasons why because I can guarantee you if someone really gets dangerously hurt or if someone really um, tries to like sue them after, it's gonna be bad.
yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah, 'cause we had to sign contracts and everything as well.
Yeah,
So
that's why it really takes someone like a Gillian Wallow, or even I think it could take someone like a Beezy. As much as people don't like Beezy,
exactly. No, Beezy could definitely pull that off.
yeah,
Even though Pop Pop's mad at me right now, it's okay.
yeah. I mean, I don't think he'll ever like me, but I think that it's like
He kicked me out the chat.
really.
It's cool.
Yeah, we'll always have like mutual respect, but I don't think we'll ever like each other if that makes sense. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. He was in my live the other day too. I told him I might indulge in one of his products, his Guzz, maybe his V. I might try. We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
definitely
See
one
Pup
day.
Pup if you watch this.
But how's life been besides all the fighting stuff?
Oh, it's been great, man. It's been great. It's been I'm just, happy I've been sober, haven't relapsed or anything. So,
Yeah, it's been a while since we did that interview, and I always think back to that interview because I'm like that's probably one of the ones that I'm very happy with doing because
oh
it's
yeah, and then the last interview, I went to jail. I
oh,
went to jail. They caught me walking downtown one day. Thank God I wasn't with my daughter. It was the day I was by myself, and they mistaken identity for me because I had my hood up and stuff. They ran my name, and I had my warrants from all the bad shit I did before. I had my daughter robbery, F1 felonies. I had open cases for, and they winded up locking me up, and I beat my cases. I got a 0 record now. So
that's great. That's great. That's like something I need to I wish I could say. But I definitely have to keep busy at the moment. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
just one of those things you gotta keep yourself a little bit distracted from the nonsense, and that's like a
yep,
huge way to get over that thing that we all have had. I think a lot of people who find themselves in this field, and especially people who find themselves eventually fighting, they probably didn't have the most straight and narrow past that is going to lead them to being able to have success easily. But once you get that taste of success, once you get it, it's going to be so much more valued. You know what I mean? You're going
of
to
course.
respect it a lot more once you actually are able to achieve it, once you go through the things that most people don't want to go through. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. I'm really grateful for that because, I can like really start my life as a mother. That case was holding me back, so everything happens for a reason. Right after that interview, I got locked up, and I beat my case, and I've been doing everything has been going well since. Man, like
Well,
I'm just going through the stages of life, and it's going well for me right now, man.
well, I love to hear that. I definitely think that it's like a very cool thing to see that you're trying to take the path that you're taking because it's showing that you really do want to see better for yourself and you really do want to see better for your family. So this is cool to see and it's a great example of someone who has a lot of heart to see what you just did last night. So
Yeah, a lot of people said that. I really haven't had any disrespect about the fight. Nobody has like disrespected me. Yeah, everybody's like, yeah, you got, you lost, blah blah blah. Like, all right, I
well,
could, I could take a loss. You know what I mean? But I, I, I take many wins too.
yeah, anyone that would ever throw disrespect are people that hate themselves. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? People that
yeah,
are going to be looking in the mirror and not happy with what they see. So it's something that you
yeah.
have to really consider and just it is what it is. You can never be someone who has any great opportunities unless you have someone who's trying to tear you down as well. So it's the yin and the yang of life. You cannot do it without the hate. So
Yeah, I love the hip hop culture. I love the rap
yeah,
culture.
it is.
I love my city. I love Philadelphia. It's the greatest city on earth, man. They show me mad love in my city, man. I
I
don't think I could never leave here.
are you in the Kensington area still?
No, I moved out of Kensington. I moved up to upper northeast. People know where that is. It's like, right outside of Kensington is literally 20 minutes away from me. Drive.
So when
Yeah.
it comes to Kensington, I seen there was a huge raid out there not too long ago. Do you think things are changing out there, or is it
A
still
little bit, yeah, man. Cutting my blocks I used to be on got raided, and it's just not the same anymore. It's so hot, man. Um and it's cleaning up, it's getting better. I mean, it's a good thing though too, because I've been on the trapping side and the using side. So um yeah, like, there's a better life. There's a better life all around.
it's tough to see when you're living it, but when it's one of those things you can see from a bird's eye view, you're starting to see that it's like everything truly does happen for a reason, and I think that it's like one of those things you have to just go with the flow sort of and see that it's like never the only option. You know
A
what I
lot of
mean?
people
Like
don't make it out there, they don't survive.
no. That's the thing. You have to be inspired no matter like what anyone says that you have that probably gives you that confidence to go into a fight like that to give you the confidence of daring to try when a lot of people would just quit before they even get the chance to try.
Yeah, I had almost a dime down there. Spent almost a dime, 10 years down there, 8, and then I had my daughter, and it's been 2. So it
Yeah.
would have been 10, but I had my daughter, so 8 years.
Well, that's a blessing. You have to be proud of yourself for that.
Yeah, I made it up, but I
Yeah.
still spin back, and cause there's a lot of good people, like a diamond in the mud type shit.
They it's you
I
find the
could,
realest people. You find
yeah.
the realest people in the places that people are struggling because those are the people that actually have to become down to earth, become people who actually see things for what it is. If not, then
My
you have to
brothers
feel
is
like
still out there just trying to make a way for their family, and
really.
don't do drugs, and yeah, you know what I mean?
I can imagine it's very tough to be in a place like that and not use.
Oh, no, no,
Really?
no. I could still go down there, and I don't want to get high now.
Well, do you think if you were living there, do
And
you
I'm being
think,
100. I swear, my daughter. Like, because it's really a choice at this point for me, and it's not worth it because I know the consequences that come with it.
so do you think your daughter is like basically the reason why you are completely
Yes,
different now?
yeah.
That's interesting. That's like something you have to always keep in the back of your brain. Always remember that is like a valuable thing you would never be able to mimic. You can't just like have some special thing that's gonna keep you focused. You know what I mean? So it's like a thing I can see from your videos. You definitely show a lot of love to her, and it's something that goes a long way. I think that that is something that if you keep posting stuff like that, you're gonna influence a lot of
Yeah, I
people.
want to do content with her more too. That's
Yeah.
my baby.
I love to see it. I definitely really appreciate you giving me your time too because I was very interested. I'm like, is she gonna be down on herself today? Is she gonna be, you know what
Not
I
at
mean?
all.
What?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So this is cool to see. I definitely really respect what you're doing and appreciate you giving me this time.
No doubt, man. I'm happy you tapped in. I'm happy you tapped in with me, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate you, dog.
There'll be another one in the future, I assume. I think
Of
that you have
course.
you have a
More,
story that people love to hear, so
yeah, more
that's a good one.
progress, more wins. All right.